I'm Angela Scapatura from Canadian HR Reporter TV. Lynn Johnston is the president of the Canadian Society for Training and Development. She's here to speak with us about the return on investment for training in the workplace. So why are training programs important for business?
Training is very important for business these days. We need to start looking at training as an investment, not as an expense, as we have in the past. Studies have shown that companies that invest the most in their people actually outperform their competitors when it comes to shareholder value. What I'm actually saying here is that there's a link between training and the bottom line. It's important that a business start to look at this. We know Canada's been lagging behind in terms of productivity, and one of the ways to invest to increase that level of productivity is to look at training as one of the options. We know that, for instance, it can generate better results than investing in equipment, for instance. So it's very important that business look at training issues.
In what ways can companies expect to see a return on their investment?
Well, it makes sense that, first of all, a properly trained employee is better suited to meet the expectations of the job better than someone who's not trained. So first of all, there would be a return right there. And then employers can start to see the results like a reduced accident rate. That's a huge one. That impacts the bottom line immediately if you can drive down your accident rate. Redundant work, fewer errors, faster cycle time to competency on the job. These are the kinds of things that employers should be looking for as results from their training. We're also seeing that younger people especially are looking for a commitment from their employer on training, on their career path and their career development. So employers can look at training as an investment in those people that will turn out to be a retention tool, and that's a very important issue. Thirdly, I'd like to point out that a learning environment in the workplace tends to be a very rich, innovative, creative environment, and that can foster creative thinking and new ways to look at issues and new ways to solve problems. So it can have many, many returns in different areas.
What kind of training is beneficial?
Certainly, what needs to be done in terms of looking at the beneficial training is to look at what are the business needs. There's no point in actually training for the sake of training or for deciding, something new is happening, let's train everyone. We need to decide first, what are we trying to achieve? And how can training support driving towards those business goals? So let me give you an example. If a company's decided that their rate of customer satisfaction is lower than they would like or lower than their competitors' customer satisfaction rate, then they may deem it that training is required for a certain number of employees, not necessarily everyone, but a certain number of employees on customer service. That then supports that goal to raise the level of customer satisfaction. And then, of course, it's important to measure to see that have we achieved what we set out to do. There's no point doing it without being able to say whether or not results were achieved.